Sup, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I wanted to share with you guys the Call of the Scarab, or AQ Remembrance Day. Now, if you guys don't know what that is, that's the first of many micro-holidays that Blizzard has added into World of Warcraft. Now, micro-holidays are not like Winter's Veil, or like Hallow's End, or one of the main holiday events that are in the game, but they're just miniature little events you can come and take part in that don't give you any sort of like really big tangible rewards. There are no mounts, no pets, no titles, no achievements that you get out of this, but it's just something you can take part in. They can add a little bit of variety to your everyday playing. And the Call of the Scarab is the first one, and I honestly think it went really well. Now, there are some things you can like kind of get out of this, but honestly, there's no real unique items or rewards or anything like that. So I just kind of wanted to share with you guys my experiences in doing this, and also at the same time, I'm going to show you guys some of my screenshots from back in the day. I did not play back whenever the Gates of AQ opened, which this event is kind of made to commemorate. And so you're going to be collecting like commendations, and whichever faction gets the most commendations at the end, which is looking like it's going to be Horde, gets to have their banners flown on the Gates of AQ for the entire rest of the year. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys at the same time that I'm sharing this whole event my screenshots of back in vanilla WoW, whenever I was just a little nub, a little nub making his way in a new world in Silthius. And this is the place that I thought that I needed to be. I thought this was the main place that like all the good players were at, so I was always farming out reputation here. I have a number of screenshots in this zone from back whenever I was actually level 60 over 10 years ago. So I'm going to share some of that with you guys at the same time as kind of explaining the event. And those are the banners right there you guys can see. Now, whenever you go into Silthius, you can see that there are going to be world quests that have popped up in the area. Now, you can do those world quests, but the commendations don't actually give you any sort of a reward for you as a player. They more or less give a reward for your faction. So unless you're really focused on getting that, don't really worry too much about it. Now, the Abyssal Crests and the Twilight Cultist medallions allow you to summon these like kind of mini bosses. I would say they're kind of designed for groups of maybe 5 to 10. Maybe the mini ones are designed for 5-man groups, and the larger ones are designed for 10-man groups. But we did it with 40-man. You guys will see that too. But basically, you need a whole group of people all farming these little abyssal tokens in order for you to really get them. Each abyssal token or abyssal that you kill, I don't know if I'm saying abyssal right, but I think I am. You kill them and you get a quest item whenever you kill the first one, the first unique one, and you're able to get even more commendations through that. Also, there are world quests for you to go in and kill the last boss of AQ40 and AQ20, as you guys see, and that's going to add even more commendations to the Alliance or the Horde's, what's a good word first, for their total of commendations. And the thing with this is that it's region-wide, right? So it's not like on Alliance-dominated servers, there's going to be Alliance banners, and on Horde-dominated servers, there's going to be Horde banners. There's going to be one set of banners for all of the different servers all across the region, right? So for US and EU and everything, it's all going to be the same banner, which, as I said, unfortunately is going to be Horde. Now, this is the most exciting part for me, is because whenever I first read about the AQ event, I thought it was just the fucking coolest thing ever, right? I think almost everybody did. And, a huge server-wide event where these giant monsters come out of these hives where you were fighting these elites inside of, and there are these labyrinths, and these are the Colossi. And I just kind of assumed that I would never get a chance to actually see one in game, or see like what the scale of it was, or what it would even be like to fight one of these things. And so being able to actually go back and see the Colossus of Zora and the Colossus of the different hives, that's awesome to me. And as I said, I've always wanted to see that and see kind of what would it even be like, I guess because it's not really like the Gates of AQ opening again, of course it's not, but what it is like is it reminds me of it, and or at least like the videos that I've seen, and it gets people together, and it gets them cooperating and playing together, and doing something that isn't just the same shit that you always see every day, Mythic Plus or whatever. And this right here, I felt like I had to do this run because I don't know how many times I did this run with one of the Silthis fragments. I don't know, Silithid fragments? I don't even know how to pronounce any of this shit. Every single time, like, I would do these runs with those little things and take them all the way back to get different reputation with the Cenarian Circle and give my faction more points and everything. This was something that I would do. I would come home from school and I would do this all the time, right? and I felt like the Silthius was like or Silthus, whatever, was like the end game zone for I guess like the whole game. So I would spend a lot of time here, and I'd try to like make friends with like higher end like raiders here and everything like that, and play with them. And I remember like going inside the labyrinth of like little tunnels inside the different hives and fighting like level 63 elites or something. And back then at that time, that was like ridiculous and like very intimidating for me, and just all that kind of stuff. And the fact that they're making this event and building it and kind of allowing people to relive that in a very cool way, I think makes this event definitely successful. Now, I think that personally, I think they probably should add like a feat of strength or something like that if you get like 1,000 commendations for your faction, just to get more people participating in it, just because there's some sort of a tangible reward. But other than that, I wouldn't really worry too much about the specific rewards. And you just have to basically, whenever you kill these cultists, by the way, what happens is that they drop like 1 or 3 different items, and you need to have like a robe, a helmet, and shoulders for the cultist attire. And once you have all 3 of them, you can put them together and click on the smaller crystals, smaller little rocks, and it summons one of the little Templar, and you can fight them and get the abyssal crests from them. So we're doing our run here. We had already so I got a 40-man raid together to kill some horde, do some world PvP, and also at the same time just do some other stuff, just hang out and whatever. And we got together all the abyssal crests that we needed to summon not only the medium-sized mob, but also the like 1,000 mob, the big like raid boss elite. And so you guys are gonna see that in just a minute. But I feel like I'll tell you guys a little story. So you guys might not have known this, but like me and a friend of mine, Zach, Mick Reevy on Twitch, we started WoW together, okay? And one day, because his dad lives down here, his mom lives somewhere else, and he took a week off and went to go visit his mom, and he left me with a CD, the Rush Greatest Hits CD. Okay, I still have it. I was listening to it today while I was doing this for nostalgia's sake. And I listened to that CD, and I farmed Silthus mobs for an entire week straight, okay? And that like kind of became the de facto like default. If I think of World of Warcraft, I think of listening to Rush, okay, honestly. So it's really, really cool to go back and see all of this kind of stuff again. And as you can see here, there's the Twilight Ring of Lordship, and there's the other one over there. And I'll buy both of these, and I'll summon the bosses to show you guys as well. Now, these other the little missions that you can do in here are apparently very good for leveling your alts because of how much experience they give, but I don't really think it's going to be nearly as competitive as actually questing, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. So I'm going to go ahead, and whenever I put on the helmet, the shoulders, and the robe, you have to make sure you have all 3 of those on there. If you don't, clicking the crystal will just instantly kill you. And you get a special little thing that you can click on, and it summons the Vile Dukes, or the Vile, like the big guys, and you can fight them and get the special quest item if it's the first time that you've killed them. Now, I think also this calls into question, like, what really is going to be the future of doing, like, world content, right? Like, right now, you have the world quests in Broken Isles, but I fully expect at this point, with how well the scaling and the phasing went for this first thing here, the Call of the Scarab, I fully accept and expect that we're going to probably see a lot of scaling in the old world, like in like Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdoms, and maybe some world quests that are going to be interspliced in those areas with scaled up mobs and things to kind of get people not just exploring the current continent of the expansion, but exploring the entire game. And I think that's going to be a really, really great step. And honestly, I think it's going to be an amazing idea. And I really, really hope they do it. Now, I don't know if they're going to do this or not, but I am definitely hoping that they will. And seeing them add like world quests to Silthius of all places, it definitely makes me wonder and think if this isn't going to be more of like the future of the game, where they kind of spread content out and they give people a lot more different types of stuff to do with different rewards that are kind of cycling around and all kinds of stuff like that. And especially whenever events like this only happen once a year, it definitely gets everybody to come over here, even if it doesn't give any sort of a tangible reward. It gets people to come over here to have some sort of, feeling and, a little bit of nostalgia, maybe. and just play together and do something new in the game together that they're not always going to have the ability to always do. And so, my overall verdict, what do I really think about the Call of the Scarab micro holiday? Um, I think it's really good. As I said, I think they should add a feat of strength or something like that that you can get, to show that you were there or something, just to get more people to participate in it. But other than that, I think that the event was great. I think everything about it was really fun, and I definitely hope they do more of them. It makes me really excited for Boat Day, and there's going to be the Hippogriff event that's coming soon, and all kinds of other stuff. So it's really great to see Blizzard focusing on content that isn't necessarily for some sort of in-game, grinding purpose or something like that, but it's actually just fun content that people can do and enjoy that doesn't have to be, ridiculously difficult or some sort of time trial, or you need to farm out 1,000 of these things or whatever. Well, actually, I did need to farm 1,000 of those things to summon that guy right there. But besides that, I just feel like it went really well, and it's definitely a really good step. And I hope that they do more, World Quest and content that's not centered just around the current expansion, and they kind of allow people to experience more of the game and incentivize that, or at least make it fun in its own way. And I think the Call of the Scarab micro holiday definitely did that. So for you guys that have done it, go ahead and let me know how you feel about it. As I said, I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great thing, and I hope they do a lot more of them. And I think it's pretty indicative of what we can expect in the future, especially whenever it comes to world quests and world content going forward. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe.